Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us for our Monday weather update for the first Monday of October. And we're dealing with an Antarctic blast moving up and across New Zealand this week, while Australia has a rainmaker. But the main focus in today's video is certainly the cold southerly on the way for New Zealand. It is building down here in the Southern Ocean next to a high. That high is moving up towards Tasmania over the next day or so, and with it, that southerly will come up and across the country. We've already got a windy sou'wester, but it's about to get windier and much colder as well. So we've got a fair amount of snow on the way. For more details, go to our website, because at weatherwatch.co.nz or ruralweather.co.nz, we've got a breakdown of which main centres in New Zealand, which towns and cities have a chance of snow and sort of what kind of snow it will be. Will it settle? Will it be heavy? Or will it be just mixed in with the rain? So we're forecasting light snow in the pale blue, just a trace or 1 or 2 centimetres. So it may settle or it may not in the pale blue areas. The darker blue areas, certainly where it's likely to settle, you're talking several centimetres there. And in the yellow and the orange, you're talking 10 to 25 centimetres in those areas. So there is a bit of snow on the way, certainly for northern Southland and the North Canterbury ranges. We're also expecting snow in some main centres, so Gore, Queenstown, Dunedin. Christchurch, we do expect a few flurries. It may not be a lot, but we do expect some in there. Rangiora, and also up towards Kaikoura, which is not something you get every day. It may not be much, and it may not really fall in the township, but certainly right around Kaikoura, there's a chance of getting some snow. And into Wairarapa, places like Masterton, and then further north up towards Dannevirke and Hunterville, and over towards Taihape and Ohakune and Stratford over here on Mount Taranaki. So there's a number of areas that could get snow, including also State Highway 5, the highway from Napier to Taupo, that might also be impacted by snow. So this is a little unusual for October, but we do sometimes get these very cold events in the middle of spring. And we've been saying for the last few months now, repeatedly, that sometimes our biggest snowstorms can be in spring. So this is not too surprising from a snow point of view, but it is surprising from a temperature point of view. This week's temperatures, don't get too lost in all this. All you're looking for are the dark blues and the pinks. That means dark blue is 4 to 8 degrees below normal, and pink is more than 8 degrees below normal. What is normal? Temperatures recorded on this time of year, at this time of year over the last generation, over the last 30 years or so. So what you're seeing is the daytime maximums here on Wednesday and Thursday show the pink areas being more than 8 degrees below average, and the overnight temperatures, you're seeing similar stories. So this is just easy to see at a glance that the next few days ahead are going to be colder than they should be, and you will feel it. So will the newborn lambs. So that's the main problem here on Tuesday afternoon and evening as that main southerly starts to arrive. Overnight lows this week are going to be brutal. -3s and -4s for some areas lower to sea level, but -8s, -9s, -10s, even -11 being forecast around Arthur's Pass around the middle of this week. So this is a significant cold change on the way. Tuesday's not too bad, but it does arrive in Southland by about late morning, lunchtime, and then certainly into the early afternoon. That southerly will come through. By Wednesday, we're now in the main sort of part of that Antarctic blast. Here's Antarctica. The southerly straight off the ice shelves, straight up the Southern Ocean, and right into Stewart Island, Southland, coastal Otago, and then further up and towards parts of the eastern side of Canterbury and the lower part of the North Island. So by the end of Wednesday, that cold changes right up the top of New Zealand, everybody feeling that temperature drop. On the other side, warm nor'easters coming in for parts of Victoria, quite a different setup with that very heavy rain starting to set in. Now, as we wake up on Thursday morning in New Zealand, this is the misery index. And it's called that because it feels miserable when you're in the blue areas. That means that it's below zero, and keep in mind it's windy. So it will feel more like -5 and -6 in a number of places. So for newborn lambs, this is a serious setup on Thursday morning. This will be the peak of the cold at about dawn on Thursday morning. That will be the peak cold across New Zealand. And you see that blue that feels like 0 degrees goes all the way up and fades off around about Waikato. It's also cold over here in Tasmania, but not to the same degree that New Zealand's got here on Thursday. Here is lunchtime on Thursday. Snow flurries are possible in all the areas along the east here. That's why Canterbury's got a chance around coastal zones like Christchurch, Rangiora, and further up towards Kaikoura. Those are the areas that could see a snow flurry, and if it's not falling at sea level, it won't be very far up on the hills and ranges. And you've also then got that wintry southerly coming into Wellington, Wairarapa. Yes, there is a chance of some snow flurries on the hilltop suburbs of Wellington. It might go a little lower, mixed in with some rain. Hard to know. It's right on the borderline, as you can see, a little bit further out towards Kapiti Coast, and it's probably dry for you. So that is Thursday. Now by Friday, in comes the high. So we've got a few lingering showers out here to the east, a couple of snow flurries around Central Plateau. The desert road might be closed or at least impacted. But as we go through Friday, the sun comes out. Big frosts moving in with this powerful high. But it's good weather for the school holidays because things will be settled. Watch out for black ice. If we're talking about -11 at Arthur's Pass, black ice could certainly be a problem through the Southern Alps. And then in Australia, barely talking about you in this video today, but plenty of rain falling along that eastern side of Aussie. The accumulation really does go up over the next few days. In fact, our final map shows you that. The rainfall coming in. So this is for the 5 days for Australia from this morning. And these totals through here getting up to around 60, 70, maybe even 80 millimetres. So that's quite a lot of rain for these usually dry areas. The rivers will be up, the streams will be up, but the grass will be growing. So that's the positive news. So a lot going on this week. Heavy snow in New Zealand, heavy rain in Australia. I'll be back again on Tuesday with our next update. We'll see you then.